And good day, I am Danny Tennell, the gadfly from the grassroots. Hey, also representing my radio station, Bumpin' 96.3 FM, as well as the voice of Right On Radio, 87.7 FM in Memphis. I posted the other day on the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. about how that Dr. King was no sellout. And, of course, I have to deal with skeptical black people. One gentleman here says, yeah, he was, meaning King was a sellout. And I would go as far as to say he's the main reason we as a people are in the situation we in now. You all, let me tell you right now, this video, usually the limit is 10 minutes. I'll try to make this short as possible. First of all, there's a book written, I have it right here, by a gentleman, I bought it about 40 years ago, the FBI and Martin Luther King. The writer was David Garreau, who also wrote the book, Let the Trumpet Sound, in 1982. Sir, it is the height of ignorance. If you read this book, you will know without a doubt that Dr. King did not sell the black community out. Well, there are some tactical errors, of course, and Dr. King publicly acknowledged on tape. And one of the failures Dr. King said in 1966 in an interview with a white reporter that he no longer had the optimism that he had at the March on Washington in 1963. King said that he recognized that he may have been overly optimistic about the change of discrimination and segregation in America. In his book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos to Community, which was published in 1967, a year prior to his assassination, Dr. King mentioned in public, in books, in writings, that one of the problems was that integration would be slower for the black community because it didn't change the poverty that black people were in. Black people were not in poverty then, and black people are not in poverty now, sir, because it is the height of ignorance like yours. And I'm fussing and I'm sorry, but to be ignorant of the historical effect of systemic racism and to insist, in spite of all the evidence of the FBI campaign against Dr. King, that he was a traitor, and to insist, in spite of Dr. King admitting himself that integration would be too slow for black people to receive justice under this system, we still got black people like you standing around. What do you all expect? Black people were enslaved officially for 246 years, and then 90 to 100 years of Jim Crow segregation. As late, now segregation legally ended in 1955. And yet, as I started school in 1969 in Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. King was assassinated, schools were still segregated. Not only that, was that the white churches, the Baptists, the Southern Baptists, they refused to integrate as late as 15 years after desegregation. So when you set up in your historical ignorance, I got a problem. You really have a problem because you don't understand that there are social and economic forces in this capitalistic society opposed to equality and justice for all, let alone black people. So no, I know what I'm talking about. And I'll be glad to debate you on the facts without being overly emotional or trying to be disrespectful. You're just an ignorant black man who need to learn about the counterintelligence program of the FBI, who need to actually read books. Not only that, sir, I'm 62. My mother and my grandmother, who raised me, were born in Mississippi by Hale. You couldn't get worse at suffering segregation than Mississippi. And they told me their lives experience. My grandmother's husband was lynched in Mississippi in the 1950s. My ex-wife grandfather was murdered trying to get people to vote in Mississippi. So it's easy to talk in 2026, to talk that talk when you hadn't lived nothing. You need to talk to your elders who lived it and saw it. Dr. King is in no way responsible for the economic conditions that damn the black community, even to this very hour, under Trump administration in 2026. Educate yourself better, my brother. Stay woke.